Hi, welcome to Richard's Reviews. Today's review is Hidden Figures. It's based on it says untold true story, but at this point it's told. So it follows three women that were in supposedly the NASA program. Two of them were extremely good at math, and the other one is just really forward think, I would say. Very smart, forward thinks, using the street smart to learn the book smart. It is during the time when segregation was still prominent, and you have quite a cast of characters in here. I mean, the three in the front are already very popular, and then you have, I think, Sheldon from Big Bang, and what's his name? Kevin Costner is also in it as well. So it follows these three ladies as they work for NASA, and the level of racism is like two levels, because one, they're black, and then they're women. So the women part, they didn't treat them very well, but the fact they were black, they weren't even called that. They were referred to as computers, because back then electronic calculators didn't exist. It was, they were using like these weird, I don't know, it's got like teletype type things to calculate things by hand. So they didn't even have electronic calculators back then. So this would follow the NASA's race to get out into space, and it ends up that they need to upgrade their. I guess they needed more number crunching people. So one person gets picked up for a special engineering test, threshold test for the exterior shell. The other one was managing the people in their group, and ended up accelerating some of the understanding of the technology that was coming along. And then the main character, and I guess you could say in the story, was working directly under these engineers that were trying to, send the astronaut into space. So, the story follows a pretty fine line. They do a lot of drama in the beginning, and it's good and bad, like the way that, like I said, there's a lot of segregation. So there was like this whole thing about the bathroom, access in the bathroom, and then going to night school in a specific state, because it was, forbidden back then or different. And then there's just one funny scene, I think I enjoyed. It was the idea that IBM came in and was about to install their computer, and the one of the persons in this group was smart enough to read the manual, and actually, I don't know if they, just trained people on it so that they could think ahead and be ready for what was coming, and then and be able to inject their team into place so that they can all do what they need to do to get things done. The whole reality is that at the end, they needed to calculate numbers that they couldn't do because they didn't exist. They didn't, you're calculating speeds of different variables coming here and there from stuff they've never done before. So the IBM computer could not calculate out enough places, I guess, for insurance to ensure that they would make it. So they still use the human factor to calculate these things. Very smart people, and the story was really definitely endearing. So the good for this movie was that it was very inspirational, and that it's based on a true story. I mean, without these types of pushes and advances, that we wouldn't be here where we are now. The bad, it does get a bit slow in the middle. They try to introduce a lot more drama or I guess people's their lives. It you either like it or you don't. I thought it slowed down a lot at that point. It does pick up in the second half at some point too. So the ugly, maybe this was too happy of a story, which is fine, I guess. It's supposed to be inspirational, so they do place like certain points of time that you see them move along, so it makes sense. It's they do like a preface and show you how they got there, and then when they're there, they have to still battle their way through these I would say more like male dominated jobs, but never gain the respect until later on. So there's definitely some interesting story parts to how they get into doing things. You know, like little pieces like she's trying to do the math and they redacted the whole book. So how are you supposed to read it? Not being in the meetings to understand what their requests are like, just getting these pieces and bits. So definitely advancements of having people, a growth, I guess, in a sense. More power. So what you get, this is the 4K Ultra HD edition. Yeah, you asked me why I would buy a movie like this. There's nothing spectacular in it. I actually just only watched the Blu-ray version. And the reason why I got this is because it was actually cheaper than the Blu-ray DVD combo. So I figured, let's just pick it up. I do have a 4K player, but what you get is you get one disc of each, and pretty straightforward. And it comes with a digital, so can't really watch this on DVD, I guess, but it's okay. And then on the back, there's no picture, but just some explanation to the story. Rating for this movie, 4 out of 5. It's a good watch. If you're into, engineering and kind of like some little bit of drama engineering, then this is a good movie. It definitely takes you there with the whole idea of traveling in space and getting there. Thanks for watching. If you like the review, drop a like, add a comment, check out the other reviews, or check out the links for the reviews for unboxings by Angry Math Guy or YelpTube. Thanks.